Take toothpaste out of your bathroom, and your morning routine immediately becomes an experiment. You still have teeth. You still have yesterday's dinner hiding somewhere between them. You still have morning breath making important decisions on your behalf. But that neat little tube is gone. No mint, no foam, no fresh stripe landing perfectly on the brush like it does in the adverts. So what do you use? Salt? Charcoal? A piece of cloth? A twig from outside? For most of human history, those were not ridiculous guesses. They were the options. People cared about dirty teeth, painful gums, bad breath, and food trapped in the mouth long before modern toothpaste existed. They just had to solve the problem with plants, powders, fingers, fibers, and a very high tolerance for unpleasant flavors. And some of what they used is genuinely clever. Some of it sounds like somebody emptied a spice rack and a fireplace into a bowl, then said, "Open wide." Let us start with one of the smartest solutions, the chewing stick. In different parts of the world, people used twigs or roots from selected plants to clean their teeth. One end was chewed until the fibers separated into a small brush. Then those fibers were rubbed across the teeth and gums. That is not just a stick being optimistic. It has a handle, it has bristles, it can loosen food and plaque. And with plants such as Salvadora persica, commonly used as miswak, the wood also contains compounds that researchers still study for their effects in the mouth. The toothbrush and the toothpaste were hiding in the same stick. Of course, technique mattered. If you attacked your gums like you were sanding a table, the plant could not save you. And not every random branch outside your house is dental equipment. But the basic idea was brilliant. Take a fresh local material, turn its fibers into a brush, use it, trim it, and make a new tip when needed. No factory, no plastic, no charger, no panic because the mint flavor was sold out. Other people rubbed their teeth with cloth or fingers, used toothpicks, or added powders to help scrub the surface. And this is where the story becomes much harder to swallow. One surviving Egyptian recipe, written on a papyrus from around the 4th century, called for rock salt, mint, pepper, and dried iris flower. The ingredients were crushed and mixed into a tooth powder. Salt and mint? Fine. You can see the plan. Pepper? On your gums? That is less fresh breath and more your mouth has entered a cooking competition. To be fair, this was one recipe from one document, not proof that every Egyptian woke up and seasoned their teeth, but it reveals the problem people were trying to solve. They wanted something that could scrub, freshen, and perhaps protect the mouth using ingredients they understood. Comfort was apparently negotiable. Across different times and places, tooth powders used gritty materials such as chalk, charcoal, ash, salt, and powdered shells. Later mixtures could include soap, aromatic oils, and other ingredients intended to make the powder clean better or taste less alarming. The old formula was often simple. If it is gritty, perhaps it can clean a tooth. And yes, grit can remove deposits and stains. The problem is that teeth are not dirty cooking pots. An abrasive can clean, but the wrong material, badly prepared or used too aggressively, can also wear tooth surfaces and irritate gums. People could make their teeth look cleaner while being far rougher than they realized. Modern toothpaste still uses abrasives. The difference is control. Manufacturers choose the material, particle size, and amount so the paste can help clean without behaving like a handful of gravel. So the strange part is not that old people used abrasion. We still do. The strange part is how much earlier users had to trust the recipe maker, their own judgment, and occasionally the contents of the fireplace. Then there was the brush itself. Before the soft nylon bristles in your bathroom, manufactured brushes were made from materials such as wood, bone, and animal hair. Bristle brushes associated with China used stiff hairs fixed into handles. Variations later spread and changed as they moved through other regions. Imagine brushing with a small bundle of animal hair attached to bone. It did the job, but natural bristles could hold moisture, soften unevenly, and be difficult to keep clean. Your toothbrush could develop its own history between uses. Still, this was an important shift. The brush was no longer something you chewed into shape. It was a manufactured tool. Someone had selected the bristles, drilled or shaped the handle, and fixed the parts together. As tooth cleaning became commercial, powders were sold in pots and tins. You wet the brush, dipped it into the powder, and scrubbed. This was convenient right up until everybody in the household arrived with a wet brush. Think about that communal pot for 1 second. One container, several mouths, repeated dipping. Suddenly the modern tube begins to look less like packaging and more like a public health peace treaty. During the 19th century, prepared tooth powders and pastes became more common. Recipes became smoother. Flavors improved. Manufacturers could offer a consistent product instead of asking every family to become bathroom chemists. Then paste moved into collapsible tubes. That small change solved several problems at once. A tube kept the product contained. It dispensed a manageable amount. It traveled well. It reduced the need to dip a damp brush into a shared pot. And it was much easier to sell because companies could put a name on it and promise that their particular minty substance would rescue your social life. But early commercial toothpaste was still not exactly the product we know today. Some formulas contained soap, which helped with cleaning and foam, but could leave a taste that made breakfast feel like a punishment. The biggest upgrade was not flavor, it was fluoride. Fluoride helps tooth enamel resist decay and supports the replacement of minerals lost during the early stages of acid attack. Once effective fluoride toothpaste became common, that tube was doing more than helping you scrub away yesterday's evidence. It was delivering an ingredient that could help prevent cavities. The tube stopped being flavored cleaning paste and became a tiny delivery system for prevention. That is the real difference between many old tooth cleaners and the modern product. Ancient and traditional methods could rub away debris, stimulate gums, improve breath, or use useful plant compounds. Some were ingenious and remain in use today. But modern toothpaste combines those cleaning goals with controlled ingredients, consistent manufacturing, safer packaging, and decades of dental research. It does several jobs while tasting like something you can survive before coffee. And that journey matters because it is easy to look back and laugh at a twig or a bowl of peppery powder. But those people were solving the same problem we face every morning. Teeth collect food. Bacteria thrive.